All right, so this is Photoshop creature tutorial. So you will be working on your Photoshop creature. Just a friendly reminder that you need at least 5 different images to create your creature. That means 5 different animal parts. If we look at the rubric, you need to go beyond the bare minimum requirements to get a 4. So what some students have done is that they have created their 5 animal parts, and then they've either added like a 6th animal part or an accessory of some sort. Whatever you would like to do is completely up to you. So let's get our documents set up in Photoshop. So we're going to load Photoshop, and right here you'll see that it needs to be 8.5 by 11 inch or letter, 300 dpi, and we're going to name it with our last name and call it Photoshop Creature. So we're going to go over here, click New File, and then we are going to set that up. So I already have 8.5 by 11 by 300 pixels per inch. We're going to give it my name. My last name is Owen. Photoshop Creature. So you can pause here if you need to see this for a little longer. I'm going to go ahead and hit Create, and there is my base document. Now before I get too far, I want to make sure I save this. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I am going to click on my computer. I am going to save it to my Google Drive, my Drive, and find that photography folder. You could also go to your recents, and you'll probably find your photography folder there. We're going to keep it as a Photoshop document so that if you don't finish it today or you need to go back and edit it for full credit, you will have the capability to do so. All right, I'm going to hit Save. You'll know that it's saved when you have a .photoshop.psd attached to the tab icon. So now let's start with our animal. So you can use 2 websites. You can use Pexels, PEXELS.com, or you can use Unsplash.com. Either one of these will work just fine. So I'm going to look for an animal head. I'm going to go ahead and just pick a cat. You can pick any animal you want, and you can start with any part you want. Sometimes it's just easier to start with the head. And you can go around and look through which ones you want. Does not matter. After you find what you're going to work with, you're going to click on it and click Download. That's going to download to your Downloads folder. All right, so now I'm going to go back to Photoshop, make sure I'm on Photoshop. This should say Photoshop, and then I'm going to go File, Open. Go to my Downloads folder, and I'll be able to find the picture of the cat I just downloaded. Here we are. It might be a different one, who knows. So now we're going to make a selection around the animal part that we want. So we are going to go towards the polygonal lasso. If you forgot how to get to the polygonal lasso, it's the 3rd one down. Click and hold with your mouse, and then you'll be able to select the polygonal lasso. Every time you click, it's going to create a point. And so you're going to carefully go around. You can give a little bit of a haircut, but you want to be careful not to have any of that background in it, because that's going to make it look a little less realistic, a little less clean, and not going to give you full points. So I'm going to kind of go around the edge here. If you accidentally oops like this, just hit the delete key a couple times and you'll be able to go back. Once you've gotten all the way around and you've rejoined it, it will automatically become dancing ants. And now we can copy it by doing Command, hold Command, and tap C. And then we're going to come over to this tab and do Command V as in victory. You'll notice that this one is too large, so I'm going to do Command T to resize it. And enter or the check mark here at the top to let it know I'm done. Alright, so now we go back to our website and we just look for another animal. So this time I'm going to look up like a monkey. I'm going to see if I can seal a monkey body. Lots of options. So I want to show you just a few more tips and tricks that you'll need to know to be successful. So I want to make sure I find something real quick. These are a little bit more complicated than I thought they were going to be. Let's just do penguin. Penguin body. Make life easier. Here we go. We're just going to download that one. Alright, so we don't need this image anymore. So I could exit out of that. And now I'm going to go up and file open again. Go to my downloads, and I am going to look for the penguin I just downloaded. And now I'm just going to trace with my polygonal lasso tool the body. Again, being careful not to get any of that background. I can give the animal different legs and different arms, so this part isn't too much of a concern to cut off. Alright, so now we got all the way around. We're going to do Command C to copy, Command V to paste, Command T to transform to kind of resize it. Now, you'll see that my head is behind my body. In order to rearrange that, we are going to move layer 2 underneath layer 1. Now, this is a really bad habit to keep your layers unnamed. You are going to want to name your layers. You can either do it by the animal or you can do it by the body part. Does not matter. It's a really good habit to get into naming your layers, and I'm going to be coming around to make sure you can. Now, how did I name my layers? I just double-clicked on the name. That's all I did. I just double-clicked on their actual name. Alright, so now you need 5 more body parts. So you can go to your website, Unsplash or Pexels, and keep looking for different animals to add. So I have 5 different animal parts, and I need to flip 2 of them. So you see I have a wing here, but I need it to go the other direction. I am going to flip that. So I'm going to go up to Edit, Transform, and then Flip Horizontal. So Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. And that allows me to flip it. And I'm going to use Command T. I'm going to kind of rotate it. And then, of course, I need to move that under my body. I'm going to do the same thing with this foot. So Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, and now I have the wings that are going the right way. Now you'll notice I rushed this and I forgot to name layers. So we want to make sure that we are naming our layers. There we go. And here's my hat. So I have a penguin, cat head, all of that, and then I even added my accessory so I can go above and beyond. He's got a cute little hat there. Alright, so we're going to Command S, File Save. Always make sure that you're saving your work as you go. And now we need to add a habitat and a background. So if you want to add a habitat and a background next, you want to make sure you have all your files put together first, and that all your layers are labeled, and then you're going to click on the background layer. So now we got to think of a place for it to live. And I think it's going to live in Costa Rica. I think it should live right here. There we go. And now this time, instead of doing File Open, we are going to go to File, Place Embedded, because we want the whole entire image. And we're going to grab our background layer. And we're going to stretch that out till it fills the whole entire image. Now you may like your background that you pick, you may not like it. It's kind of up to you. You could get rid of this. So if I didn't like it, this is how you would delete a layer. You would come over here, highlight what you want to delete, and hit the trash can. And you're going to hit yes. So that was a really busy background. I think this one with the northern lights is going to let my creature stand out much more. So File, Place Embedded. Grab the one with the northern lights. Stretch it till it fills. Much better. You can kind of move it as you want. And now we're going to rename that background. Oop, let's spell it correctly. And then we are going to move up to the very top and we're going to add a new layer. So we're going to add a new layer with this plus button right here. This is going to be called Banner, and we're going to create our banner. To do that, just like in Photoshop Lesson 1, I'm going to grab this guy right here, the rectangular marquee tool. I am going to create my banner wherever I want. Maybe I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to fill it with a color. I'm going to steal this color using the eyedropper tool and then paint it in. And then I am going to add those little banner ends by grabbing the polygonal lasso, zooming in. Oops, a little too far zoomed in. And I'm going to create those cutouts at the end. So I'm going to draw it with my polygonal lasso and then hit delete on my keyboard. If you're on a new layer, it won't delete anything else. You want to make sure you're on that new layer you created. And then from here, you're going to name your creature. So this person's name is Elaine. I'm going to make that bigger. I'm going to make it so I can read it. And you can give yourself a cute little sub-caption. So maybe this is Elaine. The Fashionable. She's a cousin to Gunther the Destroyer. There you are. And you can use your move tool to move things around. And there we are. That is a Photoshop creature with a perfect day, 5 animal body parts from different animals, an accessory or a 6 body part, a background, a name banner, and a name. And she's ready for adoption. So I'm going to Command S to save my progress. And then to submit it to Schoology, remember you want to File, Export, Export As, and save it as a JPEG. Go ahead and hit Export again. And make sure it goes in your photography folder. Hit Save. And you will submit that to Schoology. If you have any questions, please ask or wait for the next day if you're watching this while I'm not at school, and I will help you out. You have 3 days to work on this, so please take your time, make it look good, and really have fun with it.